will be as
Hey, thank you all for tuning in to watch the SMT YouTube channel. In today's episode, let's take a look at news coming out of Verizon. They have actually finally done it. We now have real 5G coverage maps. This is something that a lot of people have been clamoring for several months. I mean, this dates back, I don't know, a year's worth of tweets from John over at T-Mobile and Neville Ray and some of the T-Mobile executives. You know, Verizon hasn't been able to produce maps of their 5G coverage. It obviously has limitations being millimeter wave, but, you know, regardless, we wanted to see those coverage maps, and here we are. We finally got it. So here's what a coverage map for 5G in Manhattan looks like in New York City. You can see that there are tons of isolated locations where streets have access to 5G. This is millimeter wave variety from Verizon. The propagation, the range is limited, but at least we now have some semblance of a map that shows where the coverage is. So if you are in Manhattan and you have a compatible millimeter wave 5G device, you know where you can access it and where you get that connectivity. So besides Manhattan, here's a map much less comprehensive, much less inclusive. This is Brooklyn. Brooklyn doesn't obviously have the same amount of nodes. Clearly, this is a strategic position on Verizon's part to provide 5G access. Obviously, they wanted to come out and look like they were going to be first in 5G, so they didn't have coverage maps early on, and the effectiveness of the connectivity was poor. From what I understand, things have greatly improved. The range and effectiveness of the signal has gotten more reliable and better, but there's still extensive, deficiencies in this type of deployment. It's really fast. People are saying they're seeing speeds approaching 2 gigs per second, but the range is limited. The dependability on the connection is not all there. So there's a lot of work to be done. And obviously there are physiological restrictions to what millimeter wave can do. But you could see what these maps look like. You could see that segments of Chicago are extensively covered. But again, you could see that they are street-based. It's not a situation where large portions of the city are covered. Chicago is pretty nicely blanketed on the right side of this map. But you could see that in most scenarios, it's a street-by-street basis. So if you are going to have Verizon 5G, you're willing to pay the add-on, you're willing to adopt an expensive phone. Most of these devices exceed $1,000 and they push $1,300, $1,500, knowing that it's millimeter wave. This is what you're dealing with. So it's important as a consumer to know this. Other cities have received 5G Verizon coverage. Houston, Sioux Falls, they were announced yesterday. There's, I think, now a list of 18 cities that have access to Verizon 5G. I'll put a link in the description box for that list. And you can see all the different maps. Verizon has posted them to the website. Atlanta, all the way down to Sioux Falls. They're all listed. Washington, D.C., the whole nine. Everything that's got 5G now or is going to receive 5G in the next wave of cities, which I believe Verizon wanted to be upward between like 28 and 30 cities by the end of the year. So there should be at least one more wave of cities added between now and the end of December. So what say you on this announcement and this reveal of the coverage maps? I say it's good that they provided the maps. I can clearly see the deficiency in the millimeter wave, but it is really, really fast. It appears to me that this is a technique or a strategy that Verizon is deploying to try to offload some of its LTE traffic in highly congested areas. And at the same time, they're also trying to just be the first to 5G. That's kind of been their whole approach and mantra to this. They're calling it 5G built right. I mean, effectiveness of connectivity, it's questionable. I think everybody can agree there. You turn around, you drop signal, you try to go around a corner, or you get involved with a wall, and then you can't transmit a signal. It's challenging. It's difficult. Hopefully things get better and people can get a better connection to their 5G access. $10 add-on, expensive phones. There's a lot to deter you from this, but if you are going to be an early adopter, it's good to see we finally have coverage maps. So what say you on this topic? Go ahead and drop me a line in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. If you want to check out the links in the description box, I've got the 5G coverage maps from Verizon. I put the link there and also to this article. You guys can check those out. If you could do me a solid, please do like and share this video. Help the channel a lot. And if you want to check out some SFT communities, we've got the Discord server, we've got the Patreon page. Those links are in the description box below. And if you want to help support production here on the SMT YouTube channel, there's a PayPal share link if you want to leave a smaller occasional monetary donation to help production here on the SMT YouTube channel. Thank you so much in advance for those considerations. I think I'll leave it at that. Hope you guys have a great rest of the day. I am the SMT, and we will see you guys on the next video. Peace.